taking up the rear there. That's the 33 of Jeremy Watts.
All right, so we are getting ready to start the Nationals, getting ready to kick this one off. Two great nights of racing, about to go green. Welcome to the heat race portion on Low Budget TV as we get ready to go racing in the American stocks. Kaylee Martin will bring the field to green. On her outside, the 22K of Kevin Johnston, Miranda Scott, Lucky Laura. We go green flag. Lucky Laura in the number 13L. That's literally the name I have on my sheet. And Kaylee Martin's going to get sideways 3 wide out of turn number 2. They hang on to it. They kind of separate a little bit. Kevin Johnson out into an early lead. You see him leading over the field. Lucky Laura into the tires. So she found herself a little hiding spot over in turn number 4 that I believe will bring out our first caution of the entire weekend. Laura continues on, no caution. Here she goes. Tow truck's gonna assist while we're staying green, so that's exciting. Jeremy Watson, number 33, is gonna do a 360. Lap traffic for a leader. Kevin Johnson. The number 22K Johnston is closing in on Laura and Watts. Battle for third between Kaylee Martin and Sean Martin in the number 57. Yes, they are relatives. Satlawa in the number 37. He's looking to the outside of Kaylee Martin. Kaylee's gonna keep it off the wall, but hits Satlawa, and they stick to each other. Going down into turn number 1, Satlawa probably had the flat tire right front. No flat tire for Satlawa. So Johnson picking his way through lap traffic early on, lap number 6 of 8. 2 more to go. Miranda Scott on the charge now in the number 74. And Sean Martin in the 57. Side by side for the second spot through lap traffic. Jeremy Watts, your lap traffic in the number 33 on the outside, staying wide for your leaders. Side by side for the second spot. Miranda Scott going back to third now. And Sean Martin Sr. in the number 57 who slips up into the second spot. Now Scott's going to be under fire from the 65 of Trishera. Side by side, not anymore. Trishera moves up into third. Kevin Johnston takes the checkered flag. I think that we missed a white flag entirely because I was looking for it because I noticed that the scoreboard was 2 laps off. But Kevin Johnston takes the checkered flag here tonight in his 22K American Stock Heat Race number 1. Sean Martin Sr. second, Miranda Scott will come home in the third spot. So Trishera passed Scott after the check.
I tell you, appreciate you. 8 laps.
Heat race number 2 on the racetrack. Going to be Nicholas Johnson bringing this field to the green to his outside. The number 414, that is Ryan Taylor. He is our highest numbered American stock here this weekend. The 55M. That is Lightning McGarry. The number 55M. To the outside, Zach Martin in the number 3. Green flag is flying, and we are American Stock Heat Racing number 2. So battle for the lead early on. All these cars tiptoeing through the corner, and Martin's going to get some of the wall. Nicholas Johnson. Taylor up front. Johnson will lead lap number 1. Back here it's Waters and the number 10, piloted by Sean Martin Jr. They've been battling it out for 4th, but the big battle now is behind them. Zach Martin keeping it off the wall this time. And a battle for 5th has, I'm pretty sure this car just rolled right off the street. Or somebody just stripped it out in the parking lot. Look at this thing. This Camaro is picture perfect. Nicholas Johnson, your leader. Ryan Taylor in the 2nd spot. Battle for 3rd starting to heat up. The number 55 M machine of Mark. Oh, Mark's going to spin it out sideways in front of Clay Waters. And that's a collision over in turn number 2. Mark McGeary and the number 55M is going to bring out caution. Number 1 in this American stock heat race and number 2. Mac McGeary. I apologize for that one. So Mac McGeary. And the 55M goes around in front of Clay Waters. And Waters getting involved. So Nicholas Johnson, your leader. Ryan Taylor in the 2nd spot. 3rd spot, the Cowboy, Mike Waters. Clay Waters, I'm sorry. It's Clay Waters. And Clay's going to spin it out. Well, maybe. He hangs on to it, but loses a spot to the number 38 out of turn number 2. 38, a driver I need to include on my sheet. Another late entry. Some of these drivers, I would not be surprised if they had work during the day. 71 of Waterfield having some smoke or possibly steam. It looks like smoke, maybe from the transmission when he heavily accelerates. See there, that plume of smoke continues when he's hard on the gas. Clay Waters getting a face full of that smoke. Into turn number 1. Waters and Waterfield. Waters will take the spot. White flag for Nicholas Johnson in the American stocks. Heat race number 2. He took the lead and never looked back from the first lap. Through turns number 3 and 4, Nicholas Johnson and the number 1N machine takes the checkered flag and does a bit of a show-off move across the line. Ryan Taylor finishing 2nd, and the 38 machine rounding out your top 3. The driver I said I need to get a name for. 68J heat race number 1 for the Pro Stocks. Billy Simpkins will be starting on the pole. Who's outside. Brady Bell in the number 54. The 11M, that is Clay Daly doing double duty this weekend. And a late model N in the Pro Stocks. 2 is outside the number 5N, that is Frank Nyback. The number 718, that is Aaron Cervantes. The number 95, piloted by Steve Worstel. The 33, and the number 66 of Schaffer Wiggo Green. Some bumper banging, some doors slamming already at the start. And it looks to be a false start from the flag stand, probably because I didn't finish off the lineup. Rob Gilbertson in the number 33. Rounds out your starting lineup. Yeah, I saw some action in that start there that even the flagman didn't like. So we're going to restart this one again. Complete restart. No laps being scored. Field at the ready, they're creeping along. And to turn number 3 and 4, Simpkins and Bell bring the field to the green. Side by side early in the turns 1 and 2. Trying to fight to see who's going to lead lap number 1. Action all over this racetrack. turns number 3 and 4. Simpkins gonna take the lead. Bell's gonna slip back into the second spot. Clay Daly was working on Bell early on. Battle back here between Schaffer, Gilbertson, and Cervantes. For the second spot, Bell and Daly. These two, no strangers to racing up front, that's for sure. Daly's won a bunch of times in the Pro Stocks. Bell in the number 54 has won a lot of times as well. Contact back here. Maybe a tire that went flat. I heard a little bit of a pop. Gilbertson and Cervantes. Cervantes is going to spin it out. Nice little 360. Either Pro Stocks, either racing right now on Santa Maria Raceways, the Nationals, the Budweiser Spring Nationals. 2-day event. Daly starting to work back on Bell. Battle for the second spot. Bruin back up again. Bell, he's kind of opening up his groove, giving Daly some room if he wanted to use it like he is right now. But it's almost kind of pinching him off. Looks like Bell's going to keep that momentum. One groove up from the tires. So the battle for the second spot. White flag flying for the 68J, Billy the Kid Simpkins, as well as the rest of the field. Last lap for Daly if he can get by Bell for the second spot. Last corner, 68J, Billy the Kid Simpkins, checkered flag. And the first heat for the Pro Stocks. Bell will hold off Daly. 9 back. Then we got Worstel. And rounding out the field, the 33 of Gilbertson, Schaffer, and Cervantes. 13M Matt Mayo starts on the pole in the second heat race. The 72 of Lee Jensen starts outside. Row number 1, the 50 of Chris Smith, and 2 Chris is outside. The 26 is a driver we need to get a name for on our sheet. The number 04, that is Tim Randolph, and 2 Tims outside. The 29, Hollywood Tina Bell, rounding out the field. The number 49, that is driver Patrick Tone. All right, field, that's ready. We go green. Heat number 2 for the Pro Stocks. Jensen out to a bit of a lead over Mayo. Clears him out of turn number 2. Taking a look through this field as they go through turns number 3 and 4 for lap number 1. Mayo starting to put a challenge back on the inside of Jensen there for a second. Top 5 all in the line. Battle back here, Tim Randolph and Chris Smith. Battle for 4th. Randolph to the inside in his number 04 machine of Chris Smith. Smith kind of like that last race we were watching between Bell and the number 54. Smith kind of leaving that inside groove open, but also keeping that momentum. Randolph's going to take a charge out of turn number 4 and have his nose ahead for that lap. Good side-by-side racing for the 4th spot live on Race Videx. Take a look up front. Jensen is your leader over Matt Mayo on the 13M machine. Back here between a rookie and a potential other rookie, Tone in the number 49 and Bell in the 29. These two getting their feet wet in the Pro Stocks. Mayo, he's using that inside groove up as much as he can. But Jensen, so it looks to be like if you can put your car, I don't know, Jensen's pretty low there too, but Mayo even lower. If you can put your car about a half a groove up from the bottom, you've got a fast setup and a fast groove here at Santa Maria Raceway tonight. At least in the heat races. Who knows what that track's going to do later on in the main events. But out of turn number 4, Lee Jensen, the Dragon Slayer, takes the checkered flag for heat race number 2 for the West Coast Pro Stocks. Matt Mayo second, and third is a 26. So we got another group of pro stock heat races. Heat number 3 of 3 about to roll onto the racetrack. Be the 3D of Mike Johnson. Maybe doing double duty this weekend in the 3D pro stock, and the number 7X late model. Justin Crockett in the number 21 JT will start on the front row as well. So Crockett will start on the pole to his outside the 3D of Mike Johnson. Inside row number 2. The number 38T of Dirty Doug Thornton, 2's outside the X11. That is Steve Drake, another driver doing double duty. The 22, that is driven by Paul Miller. And to Paul's outside is the number 27, piloted by Ian Hunter. And rounding out the field, the 20T of Toby Randolph. We go green. Early on, battle up front, 3 cars under a blanket. Crockett and Johnson. Justin Crockett down low. Who's going to lead? Lap number 1, it'll be Johnson in the 3D. I see Steve Drake starting to figure out which groove he needs to get in to pass both of them. Be a bottom groove racetrack. Looks like the second groove may start to come in down low. Got to work on it more, or it's going to go away. Top 3 on the screen. There's the closest 3 cars on the racetrack. Everybody else pretty spread out from there. Crockett trying to put his left sides in the moisture. Like Johnson. Doing what we've seen a lot done tonight. Leaving that inside groove open. Running the middle of the track. Halfway home through this 3rd heat race for the pro stocks. Coming up next will be the hobby stock heat races. A lot of race cars for that division. Looks like it'll be a 4 sets of heat races. Crockett still challenging for that lead. Underneath the 3D of Mike Johnson. 2 to go. White flag flying side by side for the lead in the pro stocks. Crockett down low. Johnson on the outside in the 3D. 2 more corners to get it done for Crockett. 2 more for Johnson to hold off. Out of turn number 4, Crockett with a run, but Johnson's going to hold off and take the 3rd heat race checkered flag over Justin Crockett and Steve the Snake Drake.
Toby ran up in 2056, and 27, Ian Hunter round out the field. All right, looks like we got hobby stocks coming up next, Dave.
That's right, Mike, and it's the Rugged Radios hobby stocks. On that front row, you're going to have that number 19, Pat Fossil, in the Fisher Club Salumitech hobby stock. Next to him, Roger Noble. Second row, the 87, Matt McEwen out of Roy Grandy. And the 52 of Perry Alderman. Inside of row 3 is the 25 of Cody Sly, next to the 84 of Chris Settlemyer, and in the back there, that's the 35 of Johnny Wood.
Heat race number 1 for the hobby stocks on the racetrack. Here the announcers going through the starting lineup.
Tom Peterson giving him the 1 to go.
So Pat Fossil in the 19 will start on the inside. Just outside the number 15 of Roger Noble. Matt McEwen in the 87. Perry Alderman in the 52 on the outside of row number 2. Cody Sly on the 25 inside row 3. Outside will be the 84 of Steven Settlemyer. Chris Settlemyer, I'm sorry. And Johnny Wood, if he could, in the number 35. Rounds out the field of the first hobby stock race of the weekend. Green flag. Roger Noble wasting no time, spinning his tires, and that 15 falls away sideways and slips back. Noble's going to make some contact. And so far, so good. McEwen almost. Oh, big hit there. And Noble's going to spin it out of turn number 4. Settlemyer is having some major issues. Can't turn and hits the wall in turn number 1. So definitely the way that Noble and Settlemyer made contact, it took out the right front steering for Settlemyer. And up the track at a very slow rate of speed, I might add, but still a contact with the wall. Into turn number 1. Matt McEwen led lap number 1.
Roger Noble got a little loose there. There was a little chaos there in the middle of the pack. Checking our lineup after that wheelie. We revert back to the last full lap. We're going to check that one out.
So Settlemyer's going to need the hook out of this track. And hopefully they can fix whatever it is. Could be just a tie rod, could be a lot more.
On this next green flag, it's going to be the 87 out front. The 19, Pat Fossil, should be shown in second. Followed by Perry Alderman, the 52, and Cody Sly. One over there.
4-car transfer into the A main. The rest will go into the B. So that'll put Cody Sly on the bubble. We go green. Matt McEwen brings the field down into turn number 1. Johnny Wood trying to get by Sly. That's a battle for the transfer spot. Wood will get by Sly. Cody Sly in the number 25. Cody Sly's going to throw it way hard into turn number 3 and spin it out. So he's definitely on the outside looking in. Fossil now trying to get into that second spot. 3-car battle for second. Johnny Woods trying to put Fossil on the bubble. 3 cars for the second spot. Wood uses that inside groove and gets by. So from the potential B main and definitely now in the feature, he's riding in the second spot. Car's smoking a little bit, but that's hobby stocks. Fossil now under pressure from Noble. This right here would be a transfer battle. If Noble can get closer to the 19 of Fossil. Matt McEwen running away with this race. He's about a half a corner ahead of the second spot. So Fossil now under pressure from Noble. 5 laps down, 3 to go. In this hobby stock heat race. Seems like the transfer battle's starting to slip back away a little bit. Matt McEwen in the 87, your leader, running away with this race. Beautiful looking hobby stock. He will take the white flag as he heads down into turn number 1. Second spot is nowhere to be found except for right here. Johnny Wood in the number 35 in the second spot with some damage. Matt McEwen into turn number 3. Hammers down onto turn number 4 and takes a checkered flag in this hobby stock heat race. Patrick Fossil in the number 19. And others in front of him will go from the heat race to the feature. Noble and Sly going into the B main event, as well as Settlemeyer from his issues on lap number 1. Heat race number 2 for the hobby stocks. Richard Petty. No, I'm not. That's not Richard Petty. He's retired. The number 43 of Sam Garvin starts on the pole to his outside the 00 of Matt Dockstader. The 33T will start inside row number 2. That is Taylor Carlson into Taylor's outside. The number 49 of Gary Rayburn Jr. taking a look at this field as we get ready to go green flag. Michael Scruggs in the white number 91. The 15 of Frazier and the 13 of Dave Condon rounds out your field of competitors in the heat race. Number 2 for the hobby stocks. No doubt one of the most exciting divisions anywhere at any racetrack. The homegrown series, man. And Scruggs on the outside having to hit the brakes and go to the last. Remember, top 4 transfer out of this heat race and into the feature. All the rest are going to have to fight their way in or go from the B. The leader spins out. Carlson's going to spin out. Condon going to nearly tap the wall. So these two who are battling up in the transfer spot slip back. Here's a 3-wide battle for second over in turn number 2. Michael Scruggs, who was dead last about a lap ago, is up to the second spot now in his number 91. Gary Rayburn Jr. in 3rd and Frazier in 4th. That is your transfer spot, but Rayburn has the problem. 3rd place drivers having an issue. Gary Rayburn. Now, somehow he got that car back to running again. Where he's lucky is he's still in the A feature. These two drivers have a lot of time to make up, but he almost gave it to him there. Matt Dockstader, your leader in the number 00, leads over Scruggs. Lap number 5, 3 to go. No challenge for the transfer spot at the moment. Nothing to see back there. Dockstader in the lead, starting to get some pressure from Scruggs, who, remember, had to hit the brakes. Started towards the back of this heat race field, worked his way up to the second spot. Now duking it out for the lead. So the white flag is going to be coming out this time by Scruggs with an outside groove. He's taking a peek to the outside. Dogstader, a hometown driver, battle for the lead into turn number 1 as the white flag flies. Michael Scruggs to the outside of Dogstader. They're side by side out of turn number 2. Who's going to be at the stripe? If you're sitting at home, get up on your feet because Michael Scruggs takes the checkered flag. Working his way. That's what you call working overtime, working for the weekend. Michael Scruggs, man, having to come from the back and into the lead on the final lap, the one that pays the most. Technically not really in a heat race, but still. A little sample of what's going on here in Santa Maria. Be sure to purchase your weekend pass to watch how it's all going to play out this weekend. Sean Martin Jr. Kyle Wood brings the hobby stock field to the green. Top 4 transfer into the feature. The rest will have to work their way from the busy B main. Top 4 under a blanket so far. And it's going to be Wood that's going to spin out, and everybody going to avoid Kyle Wood, who was in second spot, now has to work his way so far from the B main unless anything happens. So Sean Martin Jr. in the number 5. I'm sorry, I apologize. Normally driven by Sean Martin. This is piloted by Rich Denman tonight. So your leader, Rich Denman. Stephen Johnson in the second spot, getting some pressure from Eric Simmental in the 21C machine. That's a battle for second. Our 4th place car, the number 3 of Taylor Janes, a longtime competitor here in the hobby stocks, especially at Santa Maria. This is her home track. She's got no pressure for that transfer spot. Battle for the second spot though. Stephen Johnson has pressure on his inside from Simmental's number 21C machine. Good hobby stock racing as Wood again spins out. You're going to see him at the top of your screen. Lost it over in the center of corner 1 and 2. So Denman's going to put Kyle Wood potentially a lap down here, just past the halfway point in this heat race. Good battle for the second spot. Continuing on, Johnson now working that inside groove. He gets passed by Simmental. Simmental on the charge now for that lead from Denman as they deal with some lap traffic. Simmental to the inside of Denman, throws it down low. Side by side, Denman with the outside momentum. Well, we can definitely tell that Wood would be a front runner as he's staying out ahead of these leaders. White flag flying, 1 lap to go to settle this lead battle. Simmental with a nose ahead of Denman. Lap traffic's going to play a part in this one. Denman using the 11 out of the pink, but the 11's going to watch out. Kyle Wood spinning out, no contact. Denman going to take the checkered flag. Ooh, that was a close one for a lot of people. And then a hobby stock heat race. We got one more hobby stock heat race coming up next, followed by the late models. Tom Grisnick, green flag flies. The number 8 machine is going to bring us to the green. Tim Correa in the number 64 starts inside, row number 1 at the time. In the second spot, battle for 4th. That's a transfers battle. All in one. We got a battle for 3rd. Tim Correa's going to make some contact with Anthony Sly, and that is the biggest impact of that. We all got lucky there. Tim Correa not so lucky. He gets sent around. Got a little sideways, and Sly cannot slow up in time. So with that, Grisnick in the lead, Sly in second spot. 3rd spot is the 11 who's going to wash up the track to allow Don Meade to go to the inside for third. All while the 18A is going to hang on to it. Alex Herrera in the 11 and the 18A piloted by Aaron Bruce. Herrera going to slip back. That car is either being overdriven or it's under the suspension setup right now. He's got his hands full. The 44 piloted by Gary Garvin in his throwback scheme to Petty Motorsports. This number 8 machine, Grisnick, he is the one to beat out here at Santa Maria. He's going to be the one to beat in the main events both days. Especially in these hobby stocks. We've come accustomed to traveling out here to Santa Maria Speedway and seeing this guy in victory lane. No transfer battle anywhere, no battles at all. The field's all spread out in this one. Lap number 6, 2 to go. Tim Correa still having some issues with that 64 machine. He has a threat of going a lap down as your leader coming into the screen right now. White flag flying, it'll be a checkered flag this time by when the number 8 crosses the stripe. Tom Grisnick, checkered flag. And not a surprise to see another checkered flag in that driver's eyes. Second spot will be Anthony Sly. Don Meade will round out the top 3 in this 4th and final heat race for the hobby stocks. Coming up next, if you are a fan of late model racing, it's time for you to get your butt on the couch. Matt Michelli in the number 96 will lead this field to the green. Kristen Copley to his outside, row number 1. Field at the ready. Green flag. Copley with the lead over Michelli. Tony Toast in the 91T. Racing 2 late models tonight, it seems. Toast starting towards the rear of the field. He's in 4th, trying to look for a way around this 2 in front of him. Battle for 3rd between Toast and the 37, who's a driver I need to get name on my sheet. I'm sure he would appreciate it, as well as all of our viewers, including me. Battle for the lead on a turn number 4. Michelli up into the top spot. Here comes Copley down low. This is heat racing action. It's a good one. It'll be halfway this time by. Michelli fighting back for that lead. Copley in the 2nd spot. Toast in 3rd, throwing that 91T all around. Into the 2nd spot. Tony Toast still has some time to make up for Michelli. Separated by a couple of car lanes. Michelli's going to make it easier. He bobbles over the center of 1 and 2. Tony Toast taking a peek down low. Side by side for the lead in the limited late model heat race. All the cars in this division are all together tonight in one heat race. Toast gets by, clears it down the back straightaway, and the white flag might not be waving. Yellow is going to come out first due to a spin over in turn number 2.
That 96 is going to get one more chance at Tony, but I don't know on these restarts.
So the number 6 is Johnny Blackford around in turn number 2.
And of course 6 is going to be done because it's 1 and done on 8s. So they'll have to get him in.
All right, so Tony Toast is going to bring the field to the green. It'll be not a start.
Yeah, it's going to be
Green flag being waved off.
putting 37 in front of the 4. They're going to be single file, so it's going to give Christian a little bit harder job to move up there.
All right, so here we go. Lap number 7. Going to be a green, white. Nope, it's going to be a green and a white. I was watching a flag man to see if we were doing green and white, but it's going to be a green and white. Followed by a checkered flag, next time by a green flag and the white flag waving.
Who's going to make it?
Tony Toast in the lead. Second spot, Kelly. Kelly's going to hold off the 37. Tony Toast from the back to the front in the limited late model heat race. Tony doing a nice job trying to support this new division. The Snake Steve Drake starts on point to his outside, the number 21 of Devin Crockett. Green flag waving. We are racing. Lightning Larry Childress in the third spot gets some pressure now from the 46. Was getting some pressure from the 46. And that'll be a false start. So Darren Koffel, the 46, tried Larry Childress till the caution came out. The 29 machine. That is Brian Kronk. And that good-looking number 29 machine, Bill Eggleston, and the number 15 E machine. And rounding out the field, the number 29, how about that? 2 29s on the same row. That is driver Will McMillan. As we get ready to rock and roll, retry for the late models. And a bit of a bunch up down low, some contact. Steve Drake out to the early lead, second spot. Is Crockett. Looking back here, no transfer battle at all in any of these late model heat races. All cars going to work, be in the feature, I should say. Brandon Kronk getting some pressure now. Battle for 5th on the inside, the number 15E of Eggleston. Eggleston having some handling issues earlier on in qualifying. Looks like they've got that figured out for the most part. Up front, Drake and Crockett not gaining any time, not really separating by that much. Drake, your lead, has got no pressure. In fact, he's actually starting to run away, it seems, from Crockett's number 21. Larry Childress in the third spot. So this heat race actually seeming like it's playing out more of a hall lap session. Trying to search around, see which line's going to be faster for the main event. Crockett starting to close in a little bit on your leader of Steve Drake. Not enough time to do anything with it. White flag flying for Drake. Rounding turns number 3 and 4. Steve the Snake Drake checkered flag in this heat race. Number 1 for the late models. Crockett second, third will be Childress. Up next will be heat race number 2 for the late models. Heat race number 2, it'll be the 37 of Rob Maya. Starting on the pole to his outside. How about that? The teammate. His teammate will be the 7X of Mike Johnson. Inside row 2, Justin Rich in the 63 to his outside. the 28K Chesterness inside row number 3. Troy Folger. To Troy's outside is the number 74 of Souza. Rounding out the field is Barfoot. We go green. 3 wide for the lead early. Rich stuck his nose down low. His 2 teammates duking it out for this heat race victory at the moment. Mike Johnson's going to lead lap number 1. Rich is going to hold on to that 3rd spot. Now with pressure from the 28K Chester Nis into turn number 3. Side by side out of turn number 4. Nis will take it at the line. Up into the 3rd spot, but Rich going to fight back on the outside. It'll be Nis with that outside, or that inside run, but a contact. Justin Rich starting to muscle back for that 3rd spot. Justin Rich will get Chester Nis out of turn number 2, so he goes back up into the 3rd spot. Chester Nis is probably like, "What's up, dude? This is a heat race." Hey man, it's the Nationals. It's all or nothing. Troy Folger in the 49, if you hadn't heard earlier on, he normally races a modified with us, but unfortunately that modified has had a run of bad luck and only able to compete in the late models tonight. So hey, at least we have him this weekend. Troy Folger, always a good competitor out here. Used to seeing an all red number 49, but changing it up a little bit. The top 2 as they run. Mike Johnson leading over Maya. It'll be white flag as Johnson crosses the stripe. One back here, Rich and Nis still duking it out for the 3rd spot. Nis is going to get it way sideways. And out of turn number 4, Mike Johnson, checkered flag in the 2nd heat race for the late models. Maya coming home 2nd, 3rd will be the 63 of Justin Rich. Followed by Nis, Folger, Souza, and Barfoot, who hits the tractor tire at the stripe. Major damage. That's 2 big crashes for Barfoot tonight. This one looks like it's going to be the one that could put him out for the weekend. Not sure what happened, but that was a major impact to that tractor tire. You can see the right side completely caved in.
He is fine. Hit that thing pretty hard, but he's okay.
So Barfoot, you saw him take a big old side slap.
Not too happy though, by no Chuck.
To that tractor tire. It seemed like he just spun the tires as he crossed the line, got it all out of control. Big impact. Chuck Barfoot.
Pretty frustrated when something doesn't work out, but I'm pretty sure he'll get that thing worked out, get back out here soon.
Well, folks, good time. Remember, remind you about the concession stand up here. Lots of things on sale, lots of great food coming up. And if you got a little bit of a sweet tooth, Relay for Life is having their bake sale down the way down there. Also, our good friends from San Ynez, they got that V8 engine transmission raffle going on down there. That custom GM Performance. That was the 383 V8 crate engine, and that's they're raffling that up. Go down there, get those raffles. All proceeds will go to the San Ynez, Lompoc, Santa Maria High School auto shop programs.
So it's either going to have to push the tractor tire back into their spot.
One tonight, the 11 hobby stock. Tomorrow they'll have the 95 mini stock, I believe, that'll both be out here.
That's right. And actually, I got to thank those good great guys from San Ynez Pirate Garage. They are actually the ones that rebuilt my Explorer. Explorer got over the winter time.
Your Exploder died?
Yeah, well, my rodeo, it was terminal. Luckily, I wasn't, but it was. And so, good folks at Pirate Garage helped me out got me a nice car out there, and they got it back. So good job to the guys at Pirate Garage, all those kids, and the car runs great.
That's cool. Maybe we can take it over there anytime and have them take a look at it and take it school credit for it. That's pretty cool. All right. Heat race number 2. Inside row 1 is going to be the 5 outside row 1, it's going to be the 91 feet of Tony Toast. Inside row 2, the 7 of Mike Kirby. Outside row 2 is the 4 feet of
All right, continue. Heat race number 3 for the late models. It'll be Cody Laney starting up in the front. Goes outside, winner of the limited late model heat race, but obviously not driving that car. Tony Toast in the 91T, the 7 of Mike Kirby. To his outside is the number 4E of Trenton Elliott. Bobby Hogue, the 4th, in the 32B. Clay Daly running out the field. Nick Bartels, we go green. Laney, your fastest qualifier here. And Hogue and Elliott going to make some contact. Hogue's going to fight back down low, try to catch up as a caution. Comes out for a false start.
Lions Club, $535. I think it can get higher, guys. Ladies, you go over there, buy your tickets if possible.
So we're going to try this one again. Lights back out. Complete restart. Laney showed some strength there on that start, but unfortunately didn't pan out for him. Now does Tony Toast have an idea of what Laney has? We go green. Nope. Cody Laney out to another early lead. 3 wide heading down into turns. Number 3 and 4 with some contact. Clay Daly getting some impact from the 27. Nick Bartels. Elliott's going to slip up the track and go back to last. Laney, your leader, lap number 2. Single file throughout this entire field at the moment. Cody Laney opening up his lead over Tony Toast. Laney's got that 5L machine fast. He scored the fastest lap in qualifying earlier on. Toast in the 2nd spot. 3rd, Mike Kirby, the veteran. Hogue, Daly, Bartels, and Elliott. Elliott trying to get his handle on that 4E machine. A lot of good quality drivers in this heat race. It's something to watch for in the main event to see all these drivers duking it out up front. 16 pro late models here tonight. Battle for 4th. Clay Daly working on inside. Under Bobby Hogue and the number 2 machine. White flag flying for Laney. This is the best battle to watch at the moment. And out of turn number 4, the 5L, Cody Laney checkered flag. Let's see who's going to prevail in this battle. Hogue sideways hangs on to it. Daly finishing 5th. Toast 2nd, 3rd, Mike Kirby. Starting on the pole in this one, the number 3 machine of John Romero starting on the inside of row number 1. Logan Drake to the outside and the 111 machine inside row 2. That is Kellen Chadwick in the number 83 to his outside. Ryan Lauer in the number 3. Paul Taronas in the 2T, the 24, Roger Holder. Inside row number 4, the number 7 of Chris Crump, who stole a victory away last year out here. And the 22D of Ryan Daves. And rounding out this field, the number 21 That is a Rodarty. One of two tonight, and that is Austin Rodarty. That is your field of modifieds in this first heat.
Row number 5 is going to be Austin Rodart in the 21 and Ryan Davies in the 22D. We're waiting for the 11 of Cody Laney. He just won the last race.
Here is the 11. We got one more left. That's Cody Laney, who just stepped out of that late model and into this number 11 Bill Henderson owned modified. So literally back-to-back racing here. The sun setting over Santa Maria. Look at this view that we've got. The 101 freeway in the background. You've heard of the 101 if you're not from California. The coastal freeway that runs down the Pacific Ocean. And it runs right past the Santa Maria Raceway. You see the campers, you see the trailers all in the background. A ton of cars here. 37 IMCA modifieds doing battle. We're going to be sending some drivers to the B main in this one. Lights out, field ready, and we are green flag, green white start. Drake out to the early lead. Logan Drake in the 111 machine, and a false start.
I wasn't quite sure about that, but that was a pretty unenthusiastic green flag. So it's usually talking Tom, but you know, like that.
Yeah, he'll give you that. All right, let's go reach for it. He'll give you that. Really nice, you're going to do that. Come on, bring it back and do it the right way. That's definitely what that was.
Also, folks, all these racers have receivers. They have little receivers everywhere, so race control can tell them what's going on, give them a little bit of warning. They can't.
I'm going to try this one again. Lights out, ready to rock and roll. Stepped away for a little drink of water. And Romero bringing this field to the green. Logan Drake again out to the early lead. Some cruising, some crossing up front. All through the, look at this swarm of modifieds. On this first lap, 3-4 wide racing. Logan Drake. Leads lap number 1. This is a big cluster down into turn number 1. Some contact, some bumping, some banging. We stay green. Everybody going in the same direction so far. Chris Crump gets into Holder. Dave, the 11, who just won this last race, the late model heat race. Cody Laney worked his way up to 5th already after starting dead last. Looking to get by the 2T machine of Paul Terrones. And now the microphone decided to cut off for me. Hit the switch and it shuts off. Who would have thought? So this is a big old pack and some contact right here between Dave's and Holder. But this is a big old swarm of cars battling for the 3rd spot with not too much place to go. Paul Terrones, he doesn't, I don't know if he knows this, but he's doing a great job of holding everybody back behind him, as well as Lauer in the number 3. He's got Heckman, he's got Laney behind him, as well as Holder and Crump. Laney's going to get by Lauer. This is the best battle to watch from top 2. Chadwick and Drake running away, single file, hard distance apart. All battling for the transfer spot here. Holder and Lauer, they're duking it out for that B main exit and A feature spot. Holder gets by Lauer. Drake crosses line, your winner. Holder's going to make it into the feature. Kellen Chadwick in the number 83. Looks like either it's a brand new body or a brand new chassis. But that 83 is clean as a whistle here, and he did it again. Stayed clean in the second spot. He's going into the feature, as well as Laney, Taronas, and Holder. The number G5 machine starting on the pole. The G5 piloted by the Dominator. Brad Pounds into his outside. The number 91T, familiar face in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, two-time champion of that series. That is Matt Crafton. Starts on the outside of row number 1. Rick Childress Jr., the Outlaw, starts inside row number 2. And to his outside, Justin Crockett in the number 21. Field at the ready. Green flag. Josh Vogt in the 25V machine. He's in 4th. That's a transfer spot. Everybody behind him wants to get by the 25. Vogt's going to try to get by Crafton to get up into the 3rd spot. Top 4 all in a bunch. Crockett is the driver on the outside looking in, as well as everybody behind him. Billy Wormsbecker in the number 33A machine battling with Daily Coffee in the number 55 to his outside. Coffee's going to throw it up high, mash the gas, but the car's going to slip back. Battle up front for the lead. Here comes the 16 to the inside of G5. The Outlaw, Ricky Childress, trying to get into the lead. He's got to get by the Dominator to do so. Vogt and Toast racing hard back here. And again, battle up front for the lead. Side by side, dead even at the stripe. Pounds and Childress. Childress down low, and that Holder's heating and air conditioning machine to his outside. The G5, Brad Pounds in that Alico Construction racing entry. Still side by side as we're racing. Lap number 5, making 6 at the stripe. Childress gets by Pounds. 2 laps to go. And Crafton holding off Vogt for the 3rd spot. In 5th place, Crockett still within reaching distance, just can't stay up to that 25B's back bumper to get into the feature. White flag flying for Childress, Pounds, and the rest of the field. Ricky Childress through turns number 3 and 4. Got by Pounds later in this race. Checkered flag for the Outlaw. Beats the Dominator, Brad Pounds. 3rd spot, Matt Crafton. And 4th, and moving on to the A feature tonight, Josh Vogt in the number 25E Crockett. Wormsbecker, Coffee, Bartels, and the 28 TJ machine of TJ Etchison. My bad, Etchison. And the 28 TJ machine heat race number 3 for the modifieds. Coming up now. On the pole in this heat race, the number 9 Triple X. That's Cheddar Cheese, Chet Reeves. Starts on the pole and to the outside, the number 20 machine. That's Cody Burke. Inside row number 2, the 72. That's Little Shoe, Kevin Irwin. And to his outside, the number 174. That's Ethan Dotson. Row number 3 has the 98, Alex Stanford. And to his outside, the number 32. Pilot 32 DJ, let me get that correct. DJ Shannon. 32 DJ. John Piker in the 28P starts inside row number 4. Goes outside, Clay Daly in the 5. And rounding out the field, the Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer in the 198. We go green. Out to the early lead. I wasn't sure the flag man was going to call off that green. We're racing and we're good. Battle for the second spot. Big old summer cars all through the field. Chet Reeves holding off Ethan Dodson. DJ Shannon on the inside of, was on the inside of 72. Kevin Irwin. Irwin's going to throw it hard into turn number 3. Shannon's going to make some contact on exit turn number 4. This is a battle for the transfer spot between the 32 and the 32. Shannon's going to spin it out and collect Piker, and Daly's going to spin out to avoid. Shannon was in the feature until that bobble. That'll put Irwin into the feature. And he's in the 4th spot. Pretty good sized gap between Irwin and Stanford. Everybody single file except for this spot back here. Battle for 7th. Kind of brewing up between the 32 DJ of Shannon, 28P of John Pike. Trying to keep an eye up here if Ethan Dodson looks like he is closing up on your leader, Cody Burke in the number 20. There's 2 Burks tonight. One is Cody and the other one is Austin Burke. You know how I tell between the 2 of them? It's because Cody has an O in the name and the 20 has a 0. So remember that the next time you see the Burks at the racetrack nearest you. It's good announcing too. White flag flying over this heat race. One more heat race for the modifieds coming up next. Cody Burke checkered flag over Dodson, Reeves, and Irwin, who was starting to get some pressure from Stanford, but Stanford showed up to the party a little too late to try to get in. Heat race number 4 for the modifieds. IMCA modifieds. Top 4 transfer out of this one. Carla Laney starts on the pole to her outside. The number 16B, that's Randy Brown, inside row number 2. First time I think Low Budget TV and Race FeedX has ever filmed this driver behind the wheel, but he's a legend out on the West Coast. The number 1P, that is Scott Pounds, is outside the number 20 machine. That's Aaron, wait, let me double check. Aaron Rodardi. I had to do my research there. I don't have a special name and letter and number thing for that one. Inside row number 3, the number 2H, Bobby Hogue. 2 is outside the number 07 of Troy Morris Jr. Inside row number 4 has a 25 of Austin Burke, and 2 Austin's outside the number 15E of Bill Eggleston, and rounding out the field the number 2 local driver out here, Danny Lauer. Field at the ready, bunched up, and green flag. Good racing here. Stanford out to the lead, but here comes Brown to the inside. I'm sorry, Stanford was in the last heat race. Carla Laney was in the lead. Now Brown to the inside. Battle for 4th. The transfer spot. Hogue is in. Everybody behind him on the outside looking in. So Brown, your leader. Battle for the second spot. Pounds and Laney. How about you throw Hogue in that mix for second? I mean, in theory, they're all in a bunch together. With Rodardi trying to get into this show. Battle for the bubble. The Pounds, the 4th place car on the bubble. Behind him is where the heat is. Look at the people that want to get into the feature. Trying to burst Pounds' bubble. Rodardi is. I love B-Mains, and they're coming up next. But I also love the intensity of the heat races when you've got transfer battles. He definitely brings out that determination in a lot of drivers, sometimes stupidity as well, but it's always exciting to watch when you're not behind the wheel. Hope to the outside of Laney. Carla Laney getting some pressure now. He's doing a great job holding off with the veteran. Both of these drivers have been racing for a long time. Hogue moves up into the second spot. Austin Burke on the inside for fifth. He gets by Rodardi. Morris now trying to get by Rodardi. Rodardi slipping back some. Looks like he might be losing the handle to that number 20 machine. Battle for the transfer spot. It's starting to pick up. Burke and Pounds. White flag is flying. If Burke wants it, he's got to go for it this time now. Tries the outside groove. Might try to dime in the corner a little bit. Maybe. Gonna keep it clean or gonna drive him dirty into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4, Randy Brown checker flag, and Pounds will hold off. Stay in the feature. So Morris, Rodardi, Burke, Eggleston, and Lauer all having to work their way through the B main here tonight.